Hi guys, Hannah here and welcome to today's mini Zentangle session. Today is week 8, day 1, and the materials we're going to be using are a black fine liner pen or a black biro if you haven't got one, a black pencil, a tortillon or blending tool, but if you don't have one, an earbud will be fine, and a square of white card. And this one measures 5 by 5 centimetres, which is 2 by 2 inches. So if you'd like to get your materials ready, get a nice cup of tea and settle down comfortably, we can begin. So for today's tangle, there are a couple of ways to draw it, and I'm going to show you the standard way, and then I'm going to show you a way that I find easier. So to start off with, I'm just starting with 3 dots across the top, 3 across the middle and 3 across the bottom. So on this size paper we've got 9. Sorry, complete blonde moment there. And then around each of those dots in pencil I'm just drawing a triangle, a diamond even. Please excuse me, my head is all over the place. Now those of you that feel comfortable, please feel free to just go in and start with a pen straight away. But the reason why I'm starting with a pencil is because the positioning of these diamonds are actually quite important. So some of you will feel comfortable just getting straight in. Some of you would prefer to have a pencil grid. And as you can see, it doesn't make much difference because we cover them up anyway. Now I'm going to start in the bottom left-hand corner. And this tangle is all about takeoff and landing, which I've mentioned to you before. So I'm starting on this one here and I'm just drawing what I suppose is a sideways smiley face, but you'll notice that I've drawn and I've followed the curve around. So I've started at the right hand peak point tip and I've ended up also there as well. Let me bring that in closer for you while I draw the next one. There we go. Now you can take them wider or shallower, but the idea would be to keep them a similar depth when you're drawing these semicircles. Okay, so that's the first step. Now this is where we go and we draw the next step, but I find it easier to draw it in a different fashion. So I've just turned the tile and I'm starting again, and I'm just drawing another half circle or half smiley face. I'm now turning it again, and yes, you've guessed it, I'm going to repeat it. And at this point, it doesn't really look like anything. But once you add the last step, you'll see straight away. And this is where you can see that where I've done the dots wrong here. I say wrong, they're not wrong, but they're slightly out, which means that these two circles don't marry up in size. So that's the way that it is officially drawn. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another way, the way that I draw it. So for those of you that have seen me use this before, I've used my dotty tool, and the reason for that is because I quite like to have my dots accurate. So I've put the dotty tool on and I've done 3 along the top, 3 in the middle and 3 at the bottom. And then I've already drawn the triangles, not triangles, the diamonds around the outside. And I'm going to repeat the first step with my smiley faces working from each row from the bottom. So there we have the first step. Now normally we would turn it one turn and then we would repeat that, but now I'm actually going to turn it so that's how it was. I'm going to turn it upside down and then I'm going to repeat it, but of course we're going in the opposite direction. And I just find this is a much easier way of doing it, because then you don't have to forget or remember where you've been or where you've got to go, because it's that much clearer. And then again I'm turning it upside down and I'm repeating it. And some of you will do it the first way and some of you will do it the second way. Do it whichever way you feel comfortable. Oops, I went over that there. So that's the finished result, and when I put the two of them next to each other, you'll see that excluding the size difference of those two circles, they're exactly the same. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, just do it the way that you feel comfortable. So I'm going to show you some examples of ones that I've drawn, and this is a lovely tangle to carry on and embellish. So here's the one that I drew earlier, and again you can see it's exactly the same. And here's one where I've actually decorated inside each of those. Well, again, they look like a grain of rice, don't they? But I've decorated inside them, and I've also decorated inside those diamonds, and then again in the centre of there. This one is another one that I've decorated, and again you can see how versatile this particular pattern is. Let's move those up so we can fit some more in. And then finally on the last one, I've just done them where instead of being 2 centimetres apart, the original dots, these dots are 1 centimetre apart. And it is rather cute actually, I have to say. And then for my final example, I've just done a huge one. And this is a 9 by 9 centimetre square piece of white card. And again, I've done the dots at 2 centimetres apart. This is a great tangle to add your own mark to. So you can decorate inside the gaps there, inside the gaps there, inside the diamonds. It's entirely up to you. So have a play around, take some time and have some fun, and send me some of your pictures when you've drawn the tangle. Thanks for joining me today, and hopefully you'll join me tomorrow for one of my other top 5 favourite patterns. Bye for now.